Okay, I'm back. What a beautiful night. Let me just get a... You see it's sun setting over there? Isn't that pretty? Beautiful, huh? Look, this is the scenery here. Isn't it pretty? So I'm leaning up against this honey locust tree here. This is the one with the... This is the one with the pods. But I thought this would be a very nice place to relax. I had a busy day today. I went to a New Age fair. They have them like 4 times a year. So, this is so uncomfortable. But I go and I have like, they do like the, I don't know what they call it, energy stuff. Like, they knead you with their elbows and they go, like squeeze me out like SpongeBob. I'm like a sponge, with all the water. I hold on to it. So this is one of my new tops I got. I thought it looked like the moon, Plus it matches the jacket, so I'm all snazzy. There's this lady there. She's an older boomer lady. Well, they're all older boomers. I mean, they're the hippy dippy crowd. I always look for Gen Xers there, but I never... There was one lady who's kind of like my age. She's a little younger. She's an author. But everybody else is like, like oldest boomers, or even my my parents' generation. They're the one. Well, those are the real old hippies. They're the ones who like started, doing everything, like developed the software and everything. This is the Astrology Association of Connecticut. So they're like across the river from where I am. So I go, and there's all kinds of people. You never know who you're going to meet. There's some younger people, but mainly they do like crafts and stuff. So I got some new crystals to hang in my window. Because they always have like all the crystals and stones and everything. So that was kind of nice. Picked up some crystals and I got, wrung out. And I heard part of a lecture on like karma and reincarnation and all that. I heard the beginning and the end, and I had to skip out in the middle to go talk to somebody. So I missed out like the whole middle part, which was, I guess, when he like explained people were picking cards and like looking at places, like pictures of places like Italy or France, and if you're like, it turned out if you were, particularly drawn to a place, that meant that maybe in a past life you were there or something happened there, So I've had, pictures I've seen in calendars of places that I've framed and put on the wall. Like there's one place, it kind of looked like Greece. There was really blue water and kind of like little boats and like a little cafe, sort of people sitting out, eating. Kind of looked like a Mediterranean type of place. And of course I've always been into like Spain, things to do with Spanish, So maybe in a past life I was Spanish or something. Yeah, it's interesting. But, you got to pay attention to your dreams too. Sometimes I go places in my dreams. I don't necessarily recognize it, but it's a familiar place that I return to. It's like I go there and I work on stuff. My grandfather, he used to say, my Pepe, my mother's father, he used to say that he went and worked in the mills all night in his dreams, and then he had to get up and go work in the mill. He worked at Colt in Hartford back in the 40s, 50s. He retired in the 60s, right around when I was born, mid 60s. But he always just say he was exhausted when he got up because he was working in the somebody coming in. That's my neighbor. My neighbor just came home, my new neighbor. Gen Z guy. I haven't actually met him. Now he knows I go talk to myself and lean against trees. He probably doesn't even care. He's like my son's age. He doesn't care. So anyway, so I had a nice little day out. Bought myself, they had all these cheap books, astrology books. And you can, they just want, people, they're done with them. They want to get rid of them. So I got a whole bunch of, astrology books that I can read. And where else did I find? Yeah, and then I stopped. Oh, and I stopped and got some stuff. I got myself a garbage can. I can't figure out how to get the little top thingy to work. I'm supposed to push it in, but it's all taped up. And although yesterday I figured out how to get I got one of these PVC mop. No, I don't know. It's this kind of new plastic mop. It's got it had a really hard sponge on it, and then there's a thing that you pull and squeeze it, right? But my bucket is too narrow for the damn mop. So, and then it was hard, and so I didn't know how it worked. So I'm like, finally I had to go online and watch a YouTube video. And some lady in India is telling me, here's how you do it. You put it in, you put it in, soak it in the water for 10 minutes, and then you take it out and you bring it. Oh, okay. How stupid am I? Like, okay, so now I know how a mop works. I have to go on YouTube now and figure out. I've been using a mop my whole life, but not this mop. This is a fancy mop. I got this mop at Job Lot. So now I know, so this kind lady was nice enough to show me how it worked. So I soaked it for 10 minutes in this, crooked, because it didn't fit. It wasn't wide enough. But that's the only bucket they had. All right. So anyway, so I mopped my whole place. And now I know how the mop works. And I put up the little mop hanger thingies, the non-stick thing you can just pull off the wall. And you put it on there and it stays up. I was so proud of myself. Now we're talking. I know how to use a mop. Look out, world. Gen X. All right. Paul, the Acts of the Apostles. All right, so today we got 1990. We're blasting back to 1990 for some hard rock. Well, classic rock, kind of, my kind of rock. And we're going to the Acts of the Apostles. So, talk about badass. St. Paul. He was a heretic. He was going against Jesus. He was talking against Jesus. And then, God struck him down, and then he saw the light. And then he went from persecuting Jesus to being on Jesus' team, being his staunchest, his biggest cheerleader, advocate. So, today's theme this week is not in word alone, but in deed and truth. Can we reassure ourselves that the advice we're getting is from the right place? So, going within, going in and asking for understanding and for advice from our guides, our highest, selves, for insight on and be, specifically ask on a certain issue. You have to be specific. So, losing my voice here. Yeah, it's my half birthday this week, May 2nd. So, it's that John's Gospel. I like it a lot. Talking about vines, Jesus being the vine, God's the vine grower, the vineyard owner, right? He's like the maintenance crew at the apartment building here. And Jesus is the vine, and we're the branches off the vine. It's divine, get it? Divine. Okay, it's obvious. All right, so if you're a branch and you're not making, there's no fruit coming off of you. In other words, you're just surviving. Well, you're not thriving, right? You're just getting by. You're not, you know, you're not doing what you were put here to do. In other words, your mission, right? Your thing, and you know you're not doing it, because God's going to keep cutting you down, right? But if you're bearing fruit, you know, you're you're tied in with with Christ, with the Christ light, with the divine inspiration. You know you're on the right track because you're bearing fruit, and God's going to keep giving you more, good stuff, right? So that's how you know. So that's my little insight on that. Um, so indeed, we can't just like even people that just go to church, right? And you say the prayers, but then you go back in your life, and you don't walk the talk, right? Not in word, but in deed, we know the truth, right? The truth about ourselves. It comes out when we're being true to ourselves, right? That's how we know we're on the right track. So, all right. So I'm sitting there trying to find the song of the week, song of the week. And I was just quiet for a minute. And I heard outside, I heard caw, caw. I heard crows. I'm like, black crows, the black crows. So I go, all right. So I went on, and I'm looking up the black crows, and I get this video. Twice as hard. 1990. Got to number 11 on the Billboard. So, and so, okay. So the lead singer, they're wearing like white puffy shirts and black jackets. I just posted a picture of myself on the Gen X site of myself in 1990, late 1990, when the song came out. "Shake Your Moneymaker" was there with the crows. There's like two crows on it. I love that. That was one of my favorite bands back in 1990 era, 89, 90. Yeah. So I said, oh, crow. So I'm going to follow the crow. And I got to that. I said, it's not quite twice as hard. It's not quite the message that I wanted to match it up with. They're all, but it's cool because they're all outside having lunch and there's lemons on the table. And I'm like, there was just a post. Gen X Jono, hey, shout out. He did on the lemon twister that we put on our ankles as kids, skipped around. So there's lemons. There's guys in white puffy shirts. And I'm like, oh, I'm on the right track, right? And then I look and say, the Black Crows are at MGM Theater at Fenway in Boston today. All right, I think I'm like a pop culture psychic or something. I didn't know, but it's just within 2 hours of where I am right now. They're probably playing right now. How did I not know the Black Crows were coming to Boston? Anyway, but they were crowing. That's how I knew. So, anyway, smelling like a rose. Yeah. So I was getting warmer there, but then I looked up "Hard to Handle," that's really more of my favorite song. Hard to handle now. And I see one of the lyrics is action speaks louder than words. 1990. Let's see. It got to number 20. It was lower, and then it broke into the top 40 in late 91, August of 91. After She Talks to Angels, got up, became a hit. So their other songs started to get popular. Then Boys are Dime a Dozen. Nothing but 10-cent loving. Hey, little thing, like it. Good loving, but got to come home with me. So, right, that adds up, right? So Jesus says, God, love for you, but you gotta come home with me. In other words, you've gotta be attached. The branches have to be attached to the vine, right? You gotta come home with me. In other words, you can't be out, you know, if you want to get the good stuff, the creativity, the inspiration, the abundance, all that, you've got to be connected, right? You can't just do it yourself, right? You can't be out there just, you know, by the strength of your ego alone and your will. You're not going to get anywhere without, you know, divine connection. Hey, little thing, you can. Anyway, yeah, it's so nice out here. So that's, yeah, that's that's those are my thoughts. My throat's still a little sore from last week, but I'm out here. I'm getting it done, and I'm gonna make myself some. Oh dear, what's going on over there? I'm gonna go make myself some split pea soup because I haven't had any in a long time. You know, so I'm gonna go do that. I have a freezer full of leftovers, but I haven't had split pea soup in a while because my Instapot's been out of commission. I finally got it back working all together. So I got all the parts. Oh, it's so nice. So, you know, um, it's always music with me. Music, and, you know, how many times do you hear birds, right? Or you hear, or you see a tree, or something inspires you, right? I'm just going to say a little bit about this. That's, you've got to pay attention. When you start paying attention to those little things, for me it started, you know, maybe really like 1999 is when I started noticing, you know, um, this time of year, which is when the sun's in my 8th house, you know, birds and flowers and things started speaking to me. I know you think this is strange, but yeah, they do. They do talk to us if we're open, you know. In other words, if you're, you know, and this is what I mean about like our mission, right? It's not like what you think, like what you went to college for, right? It comes to you in strange ways. You know, it's a language only you speak. Maybe it's something you hear. It's something you see that other people don't see, right? But if you're always on, like, you're always on social media, you're always looking outside of yourself. What does somebody else think? You know, oh, somebody else is going to come in and show you how to make a lot of money. They're going to get all your ducks in a row. Have you seen ducks? Do they always walk in a row? Do butterflies fly in formation? I don't think so. So if somebody promises to get your butterflies flying in formation, no. Ducks might walk in a row. Sometimes, if they're following their mother. I have a video about that. But, you know, if something smells off, it probably is, right? If it doesn't, if you have to think too much about something, not for me, it's not good. Anyway, so that's my wisdom for today. Look at that. Now it's getting dark, the sun's going down. I gotta go make my soup. So look how late this tree is not even budding yet. See? Right? I don't know if you can see that. Right? See? There's not even buds on this tree. You would think the buds would be out by now. But I've never really observed a honey locust tree before. So, you know, somebody's having a party over there. Somebody's laughing. They're watching this. I can't be watching the Zazoo report. I haven't posted it yet. All right. So I gotta go. Till next week. Go take a walk outside and notice stuff. You know? Be careful with the roses though, because they're a little hard to handle. They got thorns. You know. So anyway, twice as hard. Handle the vines when they're all twisted up. Okay, well, I'll see you next week. Enjoy the spring weather. It's supposed to be really nice. And till next week, Zazoo Plazz, signing out. Take care. Bye-bye.